Alright, let's go through these comments here. I can't believe this! They knew.
Come on, Cap C. Cap C. If you don't Cap C, we are going to lose. Oh, and now you're dead. Great. Come on. Idiot teammates, I swear. Get playing with randoms, you freaking blueberries. Hey dude, what's up?
They knew.
They guessed it.
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 They guessed it. But they spelled it juice.
What?
What's up, everybody? StevDez here. Time to take a page out of Masako's book and turn a baddie into a goodie. But I didn't want to do any of the main bad guys like what Masako's done on his channel. No. I want to do one of my personal favorite bad guys, Jeice of the Ginyu Force. But of course, before coming across this decision, I didn't want to do it because it was a favorite of mine. You know, he's a favorite character of mine. But I did want to go through the other baddies and see if they actually did have something to add. And sure enough, I think Jeice would. Now, in the description, there's a link to someone else who did What If Jeice Turned Good, and as always, I'll always provide that link. But I'm going to take it a little bit different of a direction, though I agree how it started out. I'm just going to add a little more, make it more of a story. Before I really get into this, I want to thank Oceana Mapping for suggesting this not 2 days after I talked about it with the guy you saw in the intro. No joke, I was driving home from a late shift at my job and I was talking to him on the phone like, I want to turn a character good. Oh, hey, what about the Ginyu Force? Well, Jeice is one of my favorite characters. Oh, you could try him. I was like, okay, yeah. And we just were talking about it, and then sure enough, you comment that. Well, here you go. This is What If Jeice Turned Good. Now, when it comes down to when Jeice turns good, I'm thinking it's while Ginyu in Goku's body is fighting off Gohan and Krillin, and he's taking on Vegeta. When he realizes he's outmatched, the Saiyan is far more powerful than he gives credit for, he calls to his captain and says, you know, maybe we should retreat. Ginyu, feeling a little bit of Saiyan pride after taking that body, refuses and wants to fight this out in the name of Lord Frieza, which is a bad move. Eventually, instead of just getting blasted away, Jeice is backed into a corner, and therefore he ends up retreating, leaving the captain behind. All the while going through his mind like, oh my god, I just left the captain alone with Vegeta and those two Earthlings, and oh geez, he's not in a good way. I need to go back, I need to try to find him. All because Jeice decided maybe the best opportunity is to live to fight another day. By the time he gets back, Ginyu is a frog, Vegeta's napping, and they're about to summon the dragon. But Gohan and Krillin didn't expect to see him come back for a third time in order to fight the Z Fighters. But Jeice is a little smarter than that. However, that doesn't stop Krillin and Gohan from taking a battle stance against him because they think he's just going to attract Frieza and Frieza's gonna come stop the wish and get his immortality. Whoa, hold on now. I'm not here to harm you. Jeice plays it off and asks if he can join the Earthlings. The reason behind it, well, there's actually two reasons behind it. One, he's the final surviving member of the Ginyu Force, so yeah, he's not that strong on his own when it comes down to Vegeta. And he's still afraid of Vegeta. Second, having that thought process and seeing how strong that guy was, that guy in the gi and the weird hair, it's clear he wasn't the captain of any team, he was just there. Just like they were just there. So maybe being in a team was kind of hindering that, and blindly following Lord Frieza has really kept him hindered. I mean, granted, he's still afraid of Frieza, but he's also afraid of Vegeta. However, Gohan's gift to see the good in people, just like with Piccolo, shows its face here. He sees that Jeice actually might want to better himself, and sure enough, is more than happy with the red man joining their party. This is the first time Jeice has been trusted without someone looking at his rank. Krillin and Dende still kinda don't trust him, but they allow it since, Gohan does. The wishes go on as is, with Vegeta waking up from his nap, demanding immortality, or he's gonna snap the kid's neck, and this is where Jeice actually comes in. You see, with Jeice there, he is able to change something minimally, but change something. He doesn't want Vegeta to get immortality either. Vegeta gets out there, grabs Dende, but because Jeice said all that spiel and needs to make a scene proper, he tackles Vegeta and gets him away from Dende. Their battle does not go very long, and before the wish is made, the third wish, the dragon turns to stone. Guru is dead. How do you like that, monkey? You're not getting your immortality, and neither is Lord Frieza.
Well. It looks like the Ginyu Force has one more survivor. Come on, Jeice. You know your place.
Lord Frieza, you and Vegeta, He is double taking between both because he knows if Vegeta doesn't kill him, Frieza will. But there is a couple of things to consider for what happens next. He pauses on Gohan for 2 seconds too many and takes a death beam to the back of his chest. Sure enough, Jeice does die here. And in anger, Gohan launches himself in Frieza and beats the hell out of the first form. Yeah, Gohan's anger spells are still a thing. Why would Frieza off Jeice? Well, still wearing the Scouter. Yeah, Frieza still has his Scouter, and I'm sure he's been keeping the open comms so that he knows the situation with the Ginyu Force. And, Jeice just admitted to betraying Frieza before the dragons were summoned. Jeice does die here, however, he doesn't make it to King Kai's. He is on Snake Way, he's taking his time, but he doesn't go there. Well, why doesn't he make it across Snake Way? Isn't his power level, pretty high? He'd be able to make the trip in less than a week. I would have it that before he got to King Kai's planet, the wish would be made on the Dragon Balls to restore the lives of everyone who was killed by Frieza and his men. Jeice was killed by Frieza, so guess who gets revived? He gets revived on a blowing up planet Namek. He knows that this planet does not have a lot of time left, and he actually starts running and trying to find a pod. He sees Lord Frieza going at it with this gold-haired stranger, and he recognizes the pants of the gold-haired stranger, and the boots, and the armbands, and oh, that's the guy that was handing me and Berta ourselves on a platter. Let's just avoid that and find a ship. However, he does see the dragon in the distance, and he does see a familiar Namekian on his way to make a wish. None of his concern, he's gone. Before he takes off in a ship though, he is poofed all the way to Earth. He's trying to survey the land and find out what just occurred, because as far as he's concerned, he just poofed. And now the grass is green, the sky is blue, and is there water around here? I need to be sure I'm not on Namek. He does look around for anyone, but that's when he realizes he's still wearing a Scouter. He pings it and looks for some of the larger power levels. They must be over here. Gohan must be over there. So he finds Krillin, Gohan, and Piccolo all discussing about what the heck just occurred. After making himself known, a lot of the Namekian warriors surround him immediately. They don't like his choice in uniform. However, Gohan speaks up, and so does Krillin, because they saw how Jeice held Vegeta off to make his wish, so he's still cool in their book. However, when it comes down to the Namekians, they're not too sure, until Elder Guru speaks up.
My children, your fear is justified. However, I see a light that this once soldier had not considered before. Give him time, and he will prove to be one of purity and one of goodwill.
Naturally, Guru's words do make them Namekians that can fight. Yeah, they just don't worry about it. They accept their leader's words. But that doesn't stop a certain character from cackling in the background because they know this is pathetic. Vegeta makes himself known.
Do you realize how many lives this coward's taken? He's not worth any mercy whatsoever. In fact, if Frieza didn't pull the trigger, I would've, and this whole thing wouldn't be going on.
Jeice holds himself back and clenches his hands into fists. He just wants Vegeta to shut up. But eventually Vegeta gets around to the spiel about how Kakarot did him a favor and ended Frieza, and how useless Kakarot is, and blah 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 blah. And sure enough, that whole spiel with Gohan and Vegeta going at it, that still happens. And Jeice wants to join in, but is stopped by a rather methodical Piccolo. But he can't win alone, Namekian.
He's not fighting to win, he's fighting for someone else. He's fighting for a good reason.
After some time on Earth, the Dragon Balls will be used in order to bring back all of their friends. And of course, they do have that little hiccup where Goku refuses to come back. However, this is where Jeice actually steps forward. He requests that, well, there's at least one member of the Ginyu Force he trusted more than Captain Ginyu, Burter, and he'd like to see his friend again. He steps forward and requests that they use the last wish to revive Burter. The wish happens and Burter's brought back to life right in front of him. Jeice is happy to see Burter, but he is in a bit different of a uniform. Bulma got him dressed up in a new type of armor made from his old armor with the Capsule Corp logo on it. Yeah, he's working for Capsule Corp. Jeice starts explaining to Burter what all has occurred, and Burter isn't having any of it. He can't believe what kind of traitor Jeice has turned out to be. Jeice does try, but Burter would just rather be off planet, and Bulma can fulfill that wish. She knows where some of the old Saiyan pods are, at least the parts of them, so she could make a makeshift pod in a smaller scale than the Capsule Corp one that Vegeta took. It would take about a week, but that's just a week for Jeice to show Burter what kind of cool planet this is. Jeice naturally has an apartment not far from Capsule Corp, and Capsule Corp is more of a job. He doesn't want to stay there 24/7, you know, with Vegeta there. All the while, Burter's able to get a taste of Earth life, and yeah, he's beginning to have second thoughts on departure day. When the pod's ready, he's considering going into the pod, but he's then looking at his old ally and really thinking about it. Well, Bada, this is goodbye. I hope you have a good one, mate. With that, Jeice turns around and leaves, not really expecting Burter to stay or take off, not even wanting to see the pod take off. He is kind of disappointed, but at the same time, he knows that Burter's a true soldier, and Burter didn't see Frieza's cruelty firsthand. Also, you know, he wasn't killed by Frieza. That's kind of a big thing. Burter and Jeice were a good duo for missions as far as the Ginyu Force is concerned, but that's where I don't believe Burter would stay. The banter in Z suggests that they weren't close friends per se, they were just allies that got along well. I don't think Burter would stay. I would think he would have the intel about planet Earth and head off to King Cold's forces. But at the same time, that week on Earth, seeing what Jeice does for a job, you know, being a security guard at Capsule Corp, as well as being, you know, part of some of the experiments with Bulma. Bulma knows that he's a strong fighter. Why not experiment a little? I don't think so, but do you think Burter would stay on planet Earth? Or do you think Burter is a loyal soldier, member of the Ginyu Force, and wants to head back into space to find some bastion of King Cold's forces so that he can report in and be a good little soldier? Considering Burter's experiences, that's what I think for the future. But you tell me by voting in that poll above. Do you want Birder to stay on Earth, or do you want him to go back into space? For more what-ifs in the realm of video gaming and Dragon Ball alike, such as if little Kakarot grew up at Capsule Corp, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and, as always, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao! Because he wants Vegeta to shut up.